No. Seal can hide the spell.
Yes, but you're hiding spells by playing music.
I mean, there's other ways.
It's true.
Like it's part of your performance. So you'd be performing in the middle of the opera.
You know, it can be just an applause. A show of grandeur.
I want to imagine, isn't that like a 10-minute casting?
For sending, no, I don't think so.
It's a standing ovation, DDS. It takes a while.
So, like, the point of it is to add subtle to your spells. So, like, saying that it isn't subtle is a bit weird.
Oh, it's okay. It's only 3 actions, but it's only a 6-second applause. You'd have to get up to hide.
Yeah, you know, it can be grand in that 6 seconds. With the king on my side.
I'm about to say, I thought it was longer duration. Otherwise, it's like trying to spend like even 1 minute like doing constant round applause. Like this is lasting a while.
3 minutes is 10 minutes, but sending itself is only 3 actions.
But I have a question for you, Valky.
Yes.
Where in the city would you like to attempt to gather your intel or rumor from?
Probably. I don't know. This might not be a good idea, but like the pirate hangout. I mean, surely they've heard something.
Sure, you go to the pirate.
I know where it is, and you know, I'm a criminal background, so surely it'd be fine.
Isaac, you're looking for trouble.
Isaac's gonna see what this city has to offer. Yes.
Any particular ward you would like to look for trouble in?
The docks, clearly.
Fair. And since you're back,
pirate hangout's just too obvious.
Since you're back, Halldamir,
at least you can put for happy.
You have been restorationed, meaning you are actually able to move around despite being horrifically, like, your guts messed up last time.
Amazing. I'm a fan of this.
You can thank CL for restorationing you.
You know, I approve.
And also, presumably fully healing you with medicine, because CL can.
Yes, full healing, restoration, and pampering.
Amonis and CL have gone to the opera. Where would you like to go? You can join them at the opera.
No, Ceres is okay. She wants to gather some information on Phineas Rawn.
Where would you like to try and gather this intel?
I feel the best place is probably the Blue Palace itself.
Okay.
Or in the general area.
Yeah, you know that the small manor they have is in the old part of the garden of the Blue Palace. But obviously the main palace has a lot of the nobility you would recognize floating around. You've been to the Blue Palace several times. They are currently repairing the window, however, that was shattered.
We got a night's rest, didn't we?
There's not been a sleep yet.
No? Okay. Wait,
It's
was
just
that all in the morning?
Yeah, that was just morning shift. It's now day shift.
You can probably assume to be healed though.
And be healed though.
You can be healed by medicine, but you have no chance to take a break yet.
Gotcha.
Everyone can be presumed to have refocused as well if you were missing focus points. That would only take you half an hour tops.
I was missing focus point. But yes, Ceres is the queen of gossip, so...
Okay. In which case, let's go through our faces then. I'm going to start from the top left of my screen and work my way around. Vicus.
Oh.
You have gone to the pirate hangout. Going to the far crest of the bay, there are several rather shady-looking warehouses, and most notably for you, several rather shady-looking bars, which you can immediately tell just by your own instincts as a spy master. These aren't just bars. There's other things going on. You're fairly sure at least one of these has got a fight pit. At least one of these is selling drugs. One of these is probably selling something much worse. Like, your instinct alone just tells you that's the case, and even, like, vague feelings of which one might be which.
Alright.
You are a spy master for a reason. And even out this far, you potentially have agents you can call upon. Potentially.
Oh, wonderful.
You don't have a strong network in this region, but you know people. So you're attempting to gather information, and you would like to gain it on the assailant who went after you.
Yes.
Describe how you would go about getting this information.
Right. So my idea would be basically to hop into one of these stores, maybe one of the seedier ones, and attempt to ingratiate myself through. I mean, pirates are pirates, right? They're not exactly honest folk. So play a few games of dice here and there. Obviously, try and pocket some or pickpocket some of them. Just to show that I know what I'm doing, and see if I can squeeze some information out of them based on how well they respect me, based on like how much I'm the skill I'm showing them, so to speak.
Interesting. Okay. What skill check are you proposing to match with that?
I mean, I'm basically trying to like show them that I am as good or even better at them at their underhandedness. So I would say thievery. Potentially.
I'll allow it.
You challenge someone to that like knife stabby game where you have to poke between your fingers.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
If I walk in and start asking questions immediately, I'm gonna get shot. Like I need to show that I belong here. So.
What it takes is one person with a hand crossbow or a pistol. Doesn't make much.
Exactly. That's a 41.
Wait, pistol? What's a pistol?
Turns out you are very good at very good at knifey stabby.
Yeah.
You come out of this only a couple of nicks compared to the other guy who not so lucky.
Oops.
It goes on for a while. After all, you invested some time into this, and it's very hard to squeeze information out of the underbelly, especially if they don't know you.
Yeah.
But you start sniffing around, trying to gain information. And you do pick up something. As you are kind of asking around, very few people can, like from the vague description you can give, no one seems to recognize who you're talking about. But as you kind of try to like subtly ask questions, you get a hit on the poison front. If you remember, obviously the assassin used a rather rare kind of poison.
Yes.
And one of the people will mention, through totally legitimate means, they got to see the various rosters taken off some ships, off their cargo.
Uh-huh.
And for no, again, it's totally above board, but it did seem like one of the few Empire flagged ships that's in port. Their manifest did seem to have a lot of powdered substance that wasn't brought through customs.
I see.
They are able to identify the ship for you.
Wonderful.
The general description of the powder does seem to match up with kind of what you'd expect. It sounds like unactivated version of the poison, which any person skilled in alchemy could probably figure out how to activate. But you have to be pretty skilled in alchemy, but assuming your assassin probably is.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, they don't know a lot about the vessel. They know it's carrying the Empire's primary flag. Came from somewhere down in the south.
Okay.
A bunch of nobles came off aboard it. They know that much. they are able to draw you out a vague a flag that it was flying before it docked.
Okay. Can I use my Celestial Empire lore to identify it?
You may.
All right. My shared identification. No, what was it called? Unmistakable lore. There we go. Just in case. Never know. Instead of recall knowledge, I'm gonna blind this for you.
Yep. You don't get to know what you rolled. You think you recognize that seal.
Oh.
It's not. It's a very minor house seal. That minor, but it is a minor house. You think it's a banner house of the Marithias.
Oh.
You think.
Okay. Makes sense.
Interesting, a banner house sailed all the way here, though possible their ship obviously got rented. But
Yeah.
it gives you some intel to work off. You also come to learn of some unusual activity going on in the city.
Oh.
Minor rumors here and there. Word of some people apparently smuggling some things past the Western Gate. I get the sense the celestial plot might be further ahead than
Oh no.
it's behaving, but there you go.
All right.
That will end your turn.
Yes.
Isaac. Just
Yes.
confirming. Were you looking for trouble?
Yes. Although he knows that really trouble is looking for him at all times.
Give me a d20.
It's a 4.
Only 4. Right, 1 second. The docks are rather busy this time of day. There are a lot of people moving around. Like all the morning goods have come in, but a lot of people are now trying to load goods onto the ships, getting ready to leave. And there is a large kind of bustle back and forth from this sort of activity. Even from your own vessel, though you're nowhere near your own vessel at this time, it being Doctor at Land's End, but you can see similar hustle even from where you are, like across the bay. Which is, I mean, commendable in its own ways, and, well, trade is strong, right? Can you please roll me a perception check?
Certainly.
As you were searching, kind of wandering through the docks, you notice a slightly out of place individual, kind of ducked in the shadows, gently beckoning every so often, trying to catch the eye of certain individuals to come over to him, appearingly to, from your judgment, illicitly trade something.
Oh.
Okay.
You're able to see this, and if you would like, you can approach yourself.
I mean, why not? It sounds like fun. Maybe it's more of those party drugs. Who knows?
Who knows? As you head on over, you see a very wormy-looking man, half elf with a pair of half-rimmed glasses, but he's very wiry frame, like very thin and lanky, but also like dressed in this oversized like trench coat. As you kind of approach over, as he kind of eyes you up and down. Yeah. Cast? Are you some kind of caster? Mage, right? Yeah, you're some kind of mage. Nature
Looks
talker.
at himself and frowns. Sure, close enough.
Nature talker, I assume. Something like that?
Sure.
Look, don't tell anyone around here. I'm not particularly I'm maybe not in the best rep with everyone around here. No, I'll try hiking up my prices, but they don't like me underselling them. But I've got hold of a few things, a few minor bits of magic that fell off the back of a card. If you're interested in any of them.
No, such as.
Well, this vendor has a variety, has a small number of magical items currently available at a discount from their normal rate.
You know what? Color me interested.
Their origin, he will not specify. These do include a corrosive weapon room for only 450 gold. It includes, let's see, it's filtering based on who's here to purchase. A scroll of cloud kill for 10% off.
Also, magical items, alright.
He has more.
I like that he's selling a scroll of cloud because that's basically a terrorist weapon. It's like a freaking gas
Yeah.
bomb.
It's
Just this
fine.
canister of mustard gas I have.
Listen, you ever wanted to inflict acid burns upon your enemies?
Look,
Why, yes, I have.
he's not responsible for what licensed mages do.
It's true.
These are just words on parchment. If someone reads those words, I mean, I'm not responsible.
He can offer you a greater staff of fire.
Ooh, that's pretty neat.
Only 400 gold.
I mean, that's a steal.
100 gold to sling fireballs. Okay. I mean,
It seems like some kind of war mates have to sell their loot, you know,
I
before.
think that staff is actually pretty good.
Oh, he can also sell you a collection of 3 scrolls of lightning bolt, collectively for the price of 2.
Mm.
lightning bolt. I mean, I'm not opposed to magic items of questionable origins.
I'll check if there's anything else, but I think that's most of his inventory he would sell to you.
Listen,
you know what?
Isaac
Good.
looks like a man who needs a staff of fire.
I do, don't I?
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, give me that staff and those scrolls. How about that?
Sure thing.
I need them for a thing.
The staff of fire would be 400 gold total, 50
Hey.
gold pieces off its base price.
All right. And
Slightly
the
used.
scrolls?
Uh,
Might not be able to afford both, actually. We'll see.
let me double check. Consumables, scrolls, third level, 60 gold for all three of them.
No, keep the scrolls. I'll just take the stuff.
Understood. 400 gold. Here is your staff of greater fire. I will add it to
Wonderful.
inventory for you. As he will thank you for your purchase and ask that you don't look for him again.
Of course.
Never
And,
see me again.
Are you only selling magical items, or perhaps would you know where I can find some very potent poisons?
I did not queue you for the sort of a poison sort of person. What are you looking for? Basilisk venom?
I guess Isaac will describe the effects of the poison he saw the assassin use, and basically say, "Yeah, I need exactly something that does this." You know.
Also, if you look in your character sheet, by the way, at the very top, you'll now see you have a new spell section that's been auto-added by the game.
Oh, wonderful! I will also subtract the 400 gold.
You describe the poison to him as he thinks, and then goes a bit pale. I know of the stuff. I don't keep it on me. Stuff's dangerous to hold.
I can imagine. Sort of the point to be dangerous, right?
Yeah, I'd rather not have stuff that might just accidentally kill me from carrying it.
But it is being sold.
I know of people who trade in the stuff. I think a batch recently came to the city. Something you want? Ask
I'd
around about it.
like to find out who supplies it.
You have to ask around in the evening, but a man named Kellogg.
Right. Much obliged. I'll hand him like another 2 gold as a tip.
He's not the person who sells it, but he'll know who does. So. He'll take the gold and look slightly nervous now you've mentioned an extremely deadly poison and like slip away.
I just stole the stuff, like, you know,
You
next to his backpack.
you have this wooden staff blackened on one end near its gemstone. Slightly cracked in certain places, but like this kind of natural wood crack that's not really messing with its integrity at all. You can see small veins of like orangey fiery energy from the cracks.
Neat.
There's also a strange engraving in it. It looks like once a name, but it's been like heavily chiseled out.
I'm sure nobody is looking for this thing anymore. Maybe I'll return it at some point.
The point is you can enjoy your stolen fire stuff.
We prefer the word reappropriated.
You may use whatever word you want when the court asks.
If Isaac hadn't bought it, some criminal would have.
You can say many things about Isaac, but he's definitely not a criminal.
I mean, he is, but
Yes,
you know,
it's quite a bit.
Meanwhile, the large lady sings upon the stage. Amnes and Ciel, you are currently in the opera.
Ah, yes.
You have been very quickly identified by the staff as people of note,
Yes, of course.
and given box office seats high up in the top area.
Do we have those small little binoculars?
Yes. You have those small binoculars, your free choice of alcoholic or non-alcoholic drinks, and you can see a few other nobles of interest also watching currently.
Right.
Though it's hardly an easy place to do large communications, given you're in the middle of a loud opera. You're fairly sure that everyone on stage's voices are being amplified by a magic, so it's very despite being a rather large hall,
Yeah.
even more than normal for opera, it's very hard not to hear what's going on.
Yeah. Well, that's
Everyone can get a good listen. Though you have an excellent view from where you are as well.
of course.
But it is dramatic. Singing, sword fighting. The sword fighting probably definitely also appreciates to Amanus on the stage.
Sure.
You enjoy some martial prowess.
I imagine it's like an opera of some famous battle or betrayal or something in Empire's history.
It is.
Yeah.
It's actually an opera based on your own family.
Oh, wow.
As it recounts your great grandfather's slaying of the last great worm to fall from Draconia.
Oh, wow. Oh, Amanus grew up idolizing that. There's a huge mural and lots of paintings and stuff in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No other great worms have been slain since. Admittedly, they are running out of great worms at this point.
Amanus will slay the last one. He's sure of it. He smiles to himself.
But it is a rather dramatic show, and it's a very well taught, very well shown one. It does paint the crown in a rather positive light overall.
Okay. Yeah.
If anything, you would say perhaps a slightly propagandist.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Mm.
Lifts the small binoculars to look closer.
But you can see a few others in attendance
Yes.
currently.
Basically checking who's here.
Kind of peer the binoculars around.
Mm-hmm.
See. Oh, you can see Eve off in one of the areas.
Oh, yes.
A couple of small nobles. Mr. Barnsworth is over there.
Ah, Mr. Barnsworth. Oh, how fortuitous. I shall speak with you later.
He has also currently got his binoculars up and is currently looking at the stage.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see a few individuals of note mingling around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is quite the show.
Lovely.
Also, if anyone was missing a hero point, please restore yourself up to a hero point.
Sure.
Everyone should have at least one before I start session.
I'll take a hero point.
But yeah. Honestly, though, the opera goes very well. It's peaceful, it's relaxing, and also rather dramatic. Both of you gain an additional hero point.
Ah. Very inspired.
Yes, you are inspired by the show going on. And mildly more likely to support the Empire. Wait, what? No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always have supported the Empire.
Just wrong side of the Empire in this case. But
No, there's no wrong side. King Amanus is the rightful ruler.
There is only one side, yeah.
yes. Little of major note happens, but you do both feel inspired during its events.
Okay.
Actually, in CL's case, you may also, if you wish, please give me a performance roll while you're there.
Sure. Hidden? No blind.
This can be public. That's not going to be enough.
I have hero, but I can re-roll it.
If you would like to. You don't know what it's going to do, but
It's better. It's opera, you know.
you feel particularly inspired by the events here? You gain an additional spell known heroism.
Oh. Wait, what?
You have gained the spell heroism.
Well, there you go. Very inspired.
I mean, it was part of my glitch, so I saved like 30 gold.
I mean, it's also just an extra spell known on the slot there for you. It just slots in. You cannot retrain it, but you just know heroism now.
I mean, it's good because you can use your spell for another spell now. For that one.
Is it part of my spells that I know?
Yes,
or is
it is part of your spells known every day.
I'm gonna add it into the book.
I've already added it for you as well. So.
Good, I saved 30 bucks. Worthy overall.
Yes.
Yeah, you feel like you can replicate the grand performances on stage.
Wonderful.
Miss Talani,
Yes.
you would like to learn more about the young Duke, or are you trying to learn more about his entourage, or have you got a particular question?
The young Duke, specifically, I plan on buttering him up as best I can. When we get the opportunity next.
Okay.
So, knowing exactly what points to poke at would be wonderful. Even though he's quite young, he's still quite influenceable.
Notably, whoever he sides over is going to have a significant advantage.
Exactly. And while his regent is obviously his regent, he stands up and makes words, then there's going to be some sway from it.
Very well. Are you looking for gossip, or have you got another method for information gathering?
I think it's mostly gossip. I would like to use diplomacy.
Diplomacy be very much asking pointed questions to people.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of hilarious.
The gossip is more just going around the circles and like, oh, have you heard about, you know?
I think Sarah's would be asking pointed questions. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Hidden?
This can be public.
Okay.
Okay, that.
37.
You ask around. It doesn't sound like Finian's made much of an appearance so far in really any social context here in Agrest so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's largely been his regent who has been speaking on his behalf, and even when he has been present, it seems his regents and his various staff have made great efforts to make sure everyone talks to them instead of talking to him.
Mm.
But definitely it seems like his staff are trying to keep him distant from what's going on for one reason or another.
Interesting.
From what you are able to ascertain, Kid is surprisingly bright, apparently.
Hmm.
From what few things you're able to ascertain, it's not a lot, but it does appear that there has been maybe some slight strife in his court from the young Duke, despite his age, sometimes pointedly pointing out large holes in his own regency's plans, or perhaps exposing things that they would rather not have exposed.
Interesting. That's probably why they don't want him talking. Hmm.
He's fairly strong-willed and pretty bright.
And precocious, I assume.
Use that information as you will.
Hmm.
You may ask one follow-up question.
One
Yes, it-
follow-up question. Does it still have to be about the Duke?
yes, it's just to be on the topic still.
On the topic, okay. When, like, is there any times when Finian is separate from his regent?
As a universal thing, you haven't. No one has seen such during the trip here so far.
Yeah.
Though Finian has often not even been in the same room necessarily as whatever negotiation's been going on. But definitely looks like he's not being allowed necessarily very far.
Yeah.
So it may be possible to get him in private, but the bodyguards might make efforts to try and stop that.
I think just away from Lord Van Horn.
Here's a general question about propriety or like how this works.
Mhm.
Does the kid actually have any power? Can he decide things, or does he need to reach a certain age before he can rule?
It's a mixture.
Okay.
There are certain things he can't fully decide on his own, but under custom, his voice still has power and authority to it.
Okay.
It's unlikely that on his own he could purely kind of like say revoke himself entirely from the empire by himself, but obviously his voice does legally still carry enough weight that his opinion could sway members of his court outside his regent to turn. A regent is only a regent as long as the internal court agrees so.
Yes.
As it turns out, regents have just as much of a nasty habit of being displaced as the young lords they take care of often do. But his voice does carry some legal weight. Like, he could, just the same as you could, technically, order someone to be executed on his own land. That totally has that power, for example.
All right.
Obviously, people are less likely to negotiate necessarily with a with a young ruler in that way, but they'd rather do it with the regent typically, for obvious reasons. But his voice does carry some weight. This will end the day phase, however, as we will now shift to the nighttime and evening. One and the same, though. As the group can gather back up at your place of occupancy.
Yes.
Have you having watched a wonderful opera?
Feel inspired over here.
One of you having a new fancy stick, and the other, and technically 3 of you having information.
Well, you've been inspired. We've been conspiring.
Yeah.
Amanas looks up from his like meal, frowning at the pun. Stops eating the chicken drumstick.
It's
I'm like entirely unaware of having intentionally made a pun.
the chicken has been beautifully seasoned by the Blue Palace's cook staff for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also been served with these really rich potatoes that have been slightly cooked in some fine alcohol. It's very nice. Obviously, they burnt off the alcoholicness of them, but the taste is there, which is quite nice.
Dickus will basically flip over the page with the drawing of the Banner House flag over to CL and say, I don't suppose you recognize where this is from?
Do I? I mean,
You can roll.
what could I roll?
Genealogy law?
Yeah, I guess genealogy.
Heraldry would be better, but you don't have heraldry, so not immediately. You don't recognize it.
No, doesn't come to mind. Should I know it?
Well,
I can study it more, but you know.
Eris has heraldry.
I mean, go for it. I'm gonna reveal it anyway, but it's just for people to see if it's something different that they.
Heraldry and genealogy, but if heraldry is more.
Heraldry would be the better one. You do. You vaguely recognize it, yes, as a banner house one of, you think, the Marithias? You think?
If you say that.
Of course. Yeah.
Because or not. Say. There's also what I reasoned. There is a Empire ship here with that banner, and our mysterious assailants, well, poison, so to speak. Their cargo has some of a substance that can be alchemically combined to create it, and of course was not reported into customs.
And I've heard that there might be a person distributing this poison as well, although even that very legitimate vendor I talked to seemed rather distressed about the substance. The name he mentioned was Kellogg. I don't know if that means anything to anyone.
Does it?
You can roll an underworld law.
Underworld lore, yeah.
Perhaps a
It is
gossip
the
law.
main antagonist from the hit video game Fallout 4, I believe.
I was thinking the Kellogg cereal, to be honest.
Yeah. My
She might be closer.
my gossip law should work because I have the what is it?
You can roll gossip law if you really want to.
Because I have the thing where any recall knowledge I can do. What is it? Private GM roll?
Yes.
The
The
one-
blind. The blind one.
Blind. Okay.
You do not learn anything, but Vickers does. His law is sadly more appropriate than yours is.
That is, yeah.
You think on the name, you think on the name. No. That Kellogg? No. You do recognize the name Vickers. It triggers a memory in you from a really long time ago.
Oh no.
You remember, dating back to when you were serving in Amanth's court back in the Radiant City. Obviously, it was a bit of more of a hectic time. The king wasn't really taking charge of what to do, and you were kind of running your own independent things. But if we almost pose the scene to a much younger Vicus, standing around, where would the spy master perhaps be? You know, the crow's tower, right, with all your birds.
Yeah.
And you have a variety of your spies in front of you. One of them being an ex-weapon monger by the name of Kellogg Vangros.
Hmm.
Surely. I mean, could be him.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, everything rather points to the Empire, which is unsurprising in retrospect, perhaps.
Given the name and the recognition and the fact that I saw the person unimpeded through invisibility, like, does the build make sense?
Definitely wasn't Kellogg as the assassin.
Okay, sure, just checking.
The build you saw was quite slender, quite slight. Kellogg was a large man by
yeah,
comparison.
okay.
He's the sort of man where, you know, like when an adventurer walks in, like, how are you carrying 7 great swords? You look at him, it's like, yeah, no, he could carry 7 great swords. That makes sense.
All right.
I mean, he's a weapon monger. He has to.
Yeah. So just so I'm interpreting this right, he is potentially selling this poison.
At least the vendor was aware of it, which suggests that it might be plausible he's distributing it.
Or otherwise knows who is distributing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, regardless, he might be here. Guess I might have to find
Do you think he's still an Empire spy?
him. Well, who knows? Most times, if you well, you don't leave or retire a spy. At least not in the Empire.
I mean, yes, you are proof of that.
It's true. Could have similarly defected, but then he would be, well, I wouldn't actively select my life for anyone else, but if he wanted to, sure. But better to ask the man himself, I believe, if he wants to be found.
I mean, I can send him a message.
Can, then certainly not going to stop you. It's been many years. He's probably not the same man I once knew.
You also have some updates from your squires, by the way.
Yes.
Danza would like to inform you that you are making some progress in selling off the huge amount of mana you brought.
Yes.
Are you wanting to siphon some of that for yourselves, or should that all be directed towards the treasury when you get back?
I mean, how much of it would it be?
Wouldn't mind siphoning some off, yeah.
I have money, so I don't know. Depends
I
on how
need-
much.
I need money, but you know.
I could do with money.
If you would
The
like,
scrolls need money.
if you would like to, you could each siphon 300 gold of the current profits.
Pretty good money.
300 gold?
Each of the current profits.
I'm good.
If you want to siphon it out of the profits for the kingdom.
I mean, I did recently spend a bit of money on something I didn't need, so
Yeah.
Ask Danza if you would like the money. He can arrange it.
No, I'm gonna take it.
I would like the money.
Oh, we're cashing in some money then.
Alright. 300
He'll go ahead and hand it over in platinum coins to you, mildly commenting that your treasurer may be upset when you get back, but
Dancer will get 5 platinum, bonus.
he'll take it.
Is that 30 platinum?
Yep, 30 platinum each.
Okay.
Turns out vast quantities of mana can sell for a decent price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And turns out quite a few people were interested in buying all that mana.
Surely that won't come and bite us in.
But yes, because if we want me to send the message 25 word or less.
Dark, I'm sure there is some I guess, given that I have a very sparse network here, I'm sure there's some medium places that I have mapped out for if I wanted to meet with agents.
I mean, you know of some places that would probably be safe and yet probably that they'd still be willing to show up to.
Yeah, I can basically give CL one of those, and she can message him, that I will meet him there if he wants to. but regardless, I will come find him. So
Send an old code phrase and say, like, meet up here at this time.
yep, see if he shows up.
When would you like to assign the meeting for?
Well, it depends. Are folks gonna go to a social engagement tonight? Because then obviously I can't. So we should probably figure that out.
I think people were considering going to Duke Finian's party.
Yeah, then I can't do it tonight then. So probably tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, just so we have time during the day to react to things instead of having it like the last time period.
Okay. You send a message. Please expend the spell slot.
Yep, I think I'm, somewhat familiar with him, so I can send the message. With the information given.
On top of that, Charlotte and Arkland actually have they come back seemingly smiling a little bit with each other, but also they seem to have a gift for his Lord Amanus.
Oh,
Are they dating? This is
Evolved.
100% they're dating. Yep.
ew.
They have not said or confirmed anything.
Hang on, what does Ceres's gossip know? What does she know?
You have not had a chance to spend a gather information action on this yet.
As young Charlotte's master here, you need to safeguard her purity. I think here.
Ceres
Be very
browns Amanus.
They spent time in the Grand Bazaar, however, doing a little bit of shopping.
I see.
And Arkland has a gift for Amanus.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to bribe Amanus to bless the union, no doubt.
Your liege.
Yes.
I was searching the market, and while browsing through an area with small magical items, I saw something which I thought you'd appreciate, given your proclivity not to leave your armor for very long.
Mm-hmm.
As he will give you a scroll of instant armor.
Oh.
Sorry, a wand of instant armor, I should say.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Which allows you to put your armor into an extra dimensional space and spend one action to just resummon it.
That is nice.
One action or 3 actions. The point is you can resummon it very quickly. One action to resummon it.
Okay.
It's pretty nice.
Okay.
For any situations where you have to de-armor, such as sleeping,
Yeah.
or if you want to be more socially appropriate, but I mean, that's not covered Amanus before.
Right.
But there you go. I've added that to your inventory.
That is lovely.
Charlotte has also brought a small gift for Ceres.
Mm-hmm.
Given you're doing a lot of noble stuff, she found some very fancy perfume you might like.
Oh, I like that.
It smells a combination of roses and lavender.
Oh,
Very nice.
pleasant.
There are also reports that they saw Viscount Basque there, though that's not a surprise. You guys knew he was over there. They didn't really see him talking to anyone that they recognized. But, they saw him there. A large group of retainers. How would you like to spend your evening? Are you going to attend the party?
Yeah.
I would like to.
Understood.
Sounds like we are.
That's perfectly fine. You're able to do that. Give me just a moment. Well, I need to load up a map for this. The group will go to attend this private banquet going on. That's all. It quickly seems there are many people attending. This will be quite the packed locale with many significant faces. I do have to ask, there's what you plan to bring with yourselves as you head up towards the manor house. You can see quite a few guards and what appears to be a line of people being checked on their way in.
I mean, as always, I will attempt to use my experienced smuggler to smuggle my knife in.
Oh, of course. As noted for you, your thievery is so good that smuggling, like, a knife basically is a non-contest.
Yeah, it's like a 15 base on the roll on top, so like.
Mhm. It's only going to be an issue if you start penalizing yourself by trying to bring lots of stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna
surely,
put my...
surely these guards wouldn't take my oddly fiery walking staff, right?
That's up to you. Out.
What was that again? What is that?
It's a staff, obviously.
Yes. Right. But of what?
of walking.
It has a very fiery nature to it. I haven't tried it yet, obviously, but the fellow I bought it from seemed very genuine.
It's not. It's not going to explode, is it?
I think that's like a.
You know,
Isaac cannot confirm or deny this.
Okay. Can I take a look at it?
It's
mean,
a
sure.
staff.
Yeah, but like, it looks magicy.
That's because it is. Because
Right. No, sorry, this is to myself. I would like to attempt to identify it.
Please roll a secret nature roll.
Okay.
You can attempt a different magical discipline at a -5 penalty.
I mean, I'll try Arcana because it's gonna be a little bit better. I have a short identification, so can't crit fail.
You know what? Now you've made me suspicious. I'm also going to try to identify what it actually is.
I mean, buying something from a shady man, I feel like it should obviously be.
Let me reroll that as secret. I meant to roll pick. There we go.
Vickers, you simply cannot identify this item.
All right.
I mean, because sometimes if life offers you stuff, you just take it and see where it leads you.
Oh.
That's one way.
Well,
of
if
going
you
it.
ever pointed, just pointed far, far away from me. I'm tired of getting blown up.
Isaac, you do realize there is an issue with this stuff.
Oh no.
While there is much cosmetic damage to the staff, which wasn't much of an issue, you do realize that the enchantment upon it appears to be off slightly, like someone has tampered with it, and in a way that is not very well done. This
Okay.
Staff of Fire will function as a Staff of Fire, as normal. However, if the Staff of Fire runs out of charges, the staff will then detonate in an explosion. Not destroying the staff, but it will detonate in an explosion if it runs out of charges.
Yeah. God.
I mean, that can be practical.
It can be. It just be aware that it will explode centered on you. Once it explodes, it cannot be used for the rest of the day, but it's out of charges anyway, so it just means you can't use the cantrip.
So if you were to make sure to stand next to someone,
And then
and
empty
then
all the
you
charges.
and then you empty the charges by casting a fireball on yourself, you also cast a second fireball on yourself. I can see
Yes.
uses for that.
Yes.
Are you saying this out loud?
No.
Are you musing to yourself? Okay.
Yes, I will update it to corrupted Staff of Fire.
Golden and corrupted, you know? That's pretty good sometimes.
Well, let's see if they even let you have it, I guess.
Well, on that note,
I mean, I can attempt to sneak it in as well, but that's a big staff. I don't know if I can.
I mean,
No.
you can put it on my bag of holding.
No, let these guards feel good about themselves finally getting to confiscate something.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my
Fair
rapier into my bag of holding.
I am
I mean,
actually.
you should know that, because the best way to make someone feel safe is to give up a weapon you didn't need in the first place.
That's very true, Isaac.
I am gonna be. Ceres is gonna be on her best behavior, and all she's gonna take is her grimoire, because it's best no one goes near it anyway.
That's dangerous. What do you mean?
It
Just
shouldn't.
smack someone in the face with it.
I mean,
That's
if they
dangerous.
want,
Blunt object.
if they want to try and take the book, they can try.
The book might argue otherwise if someone tries
It's,
taking it.
it's very ill-advised.
See,
So they can try.
The book has a habit of stabbing those who try picking it up.
Yeah.
why is everyone wielding weapons of mass destruction? And
Hey,
I just have a dagger.
this
What is
not-
happening?
I'm leaving my staff behind. It's fine, and I'm wearing my high fashion, not just my like battle robes that kind of look high fashion. No, Ceres is taking her actual high fashion clothing.
Oh, how fancy!
Yeah, she's going all for this meal. It'll be fine. I will make sure I've got my armor prepared, but that's a different discussion entirely.
Okay. Anything particular from CL or from Amonis?
I put my weapon on my bag of holding, but I do have my lyre on me. I guess I could put that on bag of holding, but I don't really want to.
Jonas will arrive as he always does, armored, the halberd slightly crackling in his mailed gauntlet, and the rather ostentatious, like winter wolf bear pelt, slung as a cloak around him. Very, very stylish northern, rugged kingness.
Okay.
Before we go to dining, I will make sure to drink one of my vials of preserved blood. Just in case.
Just in case.
Yes. I have a paranoia feeling of a nipple.
So you have fed recently, just making sure then.
Yes. Okay. Just before.
That music is very loud.
You should be able to turn it down if it's too loud in your setting, so I'll try to turn it down my end.
That's actually quite nice.
I don't know.
If you need to, you can go to your playlist section at the top and you should be able to alter the sound levels.
Yeah, I have a bass
Yeah.
volume down low, general. So
I have that. I have that too from Abomination Walls, where suddenly things can just blast.
out, yeah.
Yeah, I've got it turned down there too, but since I use the client there, not the browser.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, such a refined party.
As you begin to turn up, the fancy old mansion on the northern side of the island doesn't look like it's been used very often, but it does appear that all of the kind of like everything's been kind of cleaned up. You see servants kind of rushing around who aren't always depicted, but they're rushing around, and a variety of guards all over the place. Queues of guests are ahead of you and some behind you. It appears quite a lot of people are interested in attending today.
That cat night is adorable. What do we do to make that happen?
Bribe
Wait,
him.
what happened exactly?
I
Make
want this
them?
at the court.
All right.
What this? It's a person.
What? It's a person.
As you walk up the stairs, you see a variety of rather common-looking guards that similar to city militia you've seen, but then 2 knights in full plate. A human knight bearing brightly the Ron ducal crest, and another one with the crest, but also in armor, a catfolk in ceremonial-looking armor with a religious symbol blazoned across it.
I love him.
Oh, what's the symbol?
Oh,
You
is
may
it-
roll a
their-
religion check if you're so interested.
Is it of their secret cat god?
The secret cat god. Public?
Oh, that'll be public if you want to.
Oh, whatever. 26. Ceres is in the mood for religion, apparently. She's trained in it. How else is she going to be able to point flaws in their doctrine?
So yeah, Ceres, you recognize this indeed as a symbol of Adene, the catfolk god of the hearth.
Oh. Of the hearth.
It's adorable.
I'm with James on this. This is
he-
adorable.
Judging by the tie, appears to be a paladin.
A paladin of the hearth.
Oh
My
yeah, I'm
God,
gonna
man.
grow out with this paladin.
I feel like you're the
Paladin-
opposite of the
paladin.
paladin of the hearth.
I'm a paladin too.
I
excuse
mean,
me.
yeah, but not of the hearth, man. Come on, you're
No,
more like
conquest,
the
but, you
paladin
know.
of death and destruction, not of the hearth.
Well, some say I could be a tyrant, but I have chosen differently.
Ceres is still pro tyrant in just for the
I'm
record.
pro tyrant too. It's just for the movie.
We're
you know?
we're chained, Amanas. We are chained by social constructs.
yeah. All
You
these
and
goody
I.
two shoes that are surround us.
Imagine us.
I need a drink.
Yes, unfeathered.
Imagine
beyond
us
social conventions.
if we were not chained by these base people
Ugh.
with their need for goodness,
Decency.
the destruction we could wrought,
Yes. Oh,
the people we could
many
enslave. I
idle
mean,
nights,
conquer.
wallowing away, thinking about these things.
many very sober drinks.
Yeah.
Sat in
Yeah.
front of the fire, looking at
It
it.
really all started. It all turned with the festival's cancellation.
It did.
It's really.
It did.
I knew
Been-
something was wrong. I should have said something, but now it's too late. And
Been downhill ever since. You're almost. I hate to say it, Emma. You're almost nice sometimes. It's.
Amanas shivers.
I heard that like going back in as well.
I think my alignment has changed.
I.
He glares into the fire.
What a
Glassy
terrifying.
eyed.
The terrifying
Feel-
concept it is.
Yes, I feel protective.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
I do not worship any gods, but I shall pray for you, Amanas.
Thank you, thank you.
Unhinged conversation.
I need to make something, so I can move myself a little bit further down neutral. Maybe I can build like a temple to, what's in as the Nimbaloth, get a little bit of that in.
As you
Empty death.
as you approach up towards the top of the stairs, you are greeted by the catfolk in front of you, who seems to be heading the guard here.
Of course he is.
He's so
a good
trustworthy.
boy.
Just don't leave
Dear
anything
guests,
unattended
dear
near an
guests,
edge.
welcome to the Rahal party for today. We have been instructed no weapons are to be brought inside. Do understand it's for the safety of our young lord.
Of course.
Of course. Isaac will hand over his fiery staff. Watch out though. It shouldn't explode, but
He
best keep it safe.
he looks at it, handing it to one of wasn't even like his squire behind him, just like category 1 flaming staff. Puts it into the locker or into the chest behind him.
I think this will hand up his
Don't
rapier
rattle
and
it though. It's very sensitive.
Don't rattle it. Try and leave it perfectly upright.
The
Yes.
squire is very nervous as he puts it into the box.
It's like nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ceres is like, I left my not explosive staff at home.
Wow. Such a glad handle.
Makes an impression.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I totally could. Oh no, there's a priest. Ew.
You see one of the royal priests come up and briefly say something, though he seems to kind of put a hand to him. I'm dealing with guests at the moment. I will speak with you once they're all inside. He says, giving a slight glare at the priest. You get the sense something might have happened already.
Oh,
Oh. Ceres will look to
like him already.
yeah, I was gonna say Ceres was gonna look to Vickers and say, I like this guy.
He will go through, and unless any of you stop him, disarm you of all your visible weapons.
Oh, he will not disarm me, I'll tell you that much.
You can disarm me of my visible weapons, sure.
I mean, nothing on Ceres really.
I mean, the lyre is not a weapon, right?
I just
The
have
lyre is not a weapon.
I just have a book. The book's not a weapon. Well,
The book's not a weapon.
mostly.
It's not visibly a weapon.
It's not visibly a weapon. It just looks like a book.
Your
Although-
Highness, Lord Zeal.
Ceres will stay behind to try and help Amanas through this. So.
I might as well look at the cat. Indeed, it is I.
I was told you might cause us issues.
Amadas quirks an eyebrow and smiles slightly. No, I haven't even started doing that yet. You will notice if I do.
I do not wish for a conflict, but my orders are clear. I'm sure you would not want individuals carrying weapons in your personal home.
I wouldn't mind, actually, because I'm not a coward. Intimidating glare.
You can attempt to intimidating Claire.
I will.
I don't know how I'd aid. Oh,
34.
You stare at him with a dread anger that you feel like most people just fold over to.
Mm-hmm.
He
Does
looks
have a -1.
He looks unfazed, as almost you feel a clash for a moment, as you feel your own aura being pushed back by an aura of courage.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting.
He's a paladin, so
Orders are absolute. You can call my master a coward all you want, but given his age, it seems appropriate.
Perhaps
I'm not calling the boy coward. I'm calling the old man one. Would you truly believe that I mean any harm to your young master? Come now. I am a king. I am civil. Will attempt a diplomacy check.
You may attempt diplomacy, though I will be giving you a -2 penalty because you did try to intimidate him first.
Perfectly fine. I don't think Amanas has met any other paladins, really. So he's like, oh, well, that usually works. Weird. Yeah. That's an 18 on the roll.
At least that's a decent roll still for you.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at you. And there's this definite long pause as he considers the best approach here. I suppose not. One man of the oath to another. I assume you would not be here to break the peace.
Amanas nods gravely. I am not here to break the peace. I swear to you that the young master has nothing to fear from me.
Heavens be our witness, then. He will allow you to pass with your weapon. The guards, like, over there are like, are you sure? And it's like, he's just nodding, just, yes.
Ooh, I've got all your titles called upon now.
Yes, it's ready. It's time to.
It is time.
What kind of illusion? I mean, I don't have time for grand illusionist scene for you.
Give us some inspiring music.
Cool. Seriously inspired.
Oh my goodness.
Open the doors!
What does that even do? I'll just put the spell effect
Behold!
on me. We'll find out.
As you want to open the doors, then, right? One.
Indeed.
Just double checking everything is correct.
I'm gonna do my best here for you, Amanas, to make the best impression. Although I don't know if everyone is here, like gathered in here or some ballroom or something.
Maybe I can aid you with my stateliness. You know.
Oh, you know, maybe.
Makes sense.
I have a lot of bonuses.
Yeah.
It seems.
As it opens
yes.
up into a large, grand, like, foyer.
Interesting.
As you can see, a handful of individuals around. A few noblemen. It doesn't appear this is the center of the party, but it is certainly a place if you want to make a grand entrance, you can.
I think the main party's got to be where we make the entrance, right?
Yeah, I think so. The main
Yeah.
part is where we do the grand entrance.
Yeah. I mean, Ceres will still make an impression to everybody though.
A
As is
minor
her,
entrance.
as is her her given right.
It is, in fact, your given right.
What does that musical accompaniment do? I don't. A +1? The performance.
And possibly to deception, diplomacy, independence, depending on the GM and
Is that
situation.
not a self buff? or-
No.
It's just like an environmental thing more than anything else.
Yeah. It's a, you know.
Does it
But
give
it's
me a
impressive.
+1 in this?
I would say so.
Alright, cool.
It's certainly quite the impression to walk through the door and like music.
True, that is very true. Alright. Let's see. A 34. That's pretty good for most occasions.
It's fairly good. You feel like you've influenced several people in this room.
My glad hand also, but I can always remake it to the same people if it did fail. But I guess Ceres will turn to the guard and be like, "So where is the main shindig?"
Lord Regent Van Horn can be found in the ballroom. If you head down towards the end of the hall and take a right. Over here.
Over there. Okay. Alright. She'll thank him and like dish out a gold.
He will politely put up a hand. Please. This is an evening for all of you.
Forward then, as we shall stride majestically.
Onwards.
The grand hall here is very light and empty. There is a lot. It's very bright. There's even kind of panes of glass up above, adding extra light and almost like a stained glass effect above.
Mm.
This place clearly hasn't been used in a long time, but it's clean. It's clean and it's very bright. You see a rather large, like broad-shouldered woman currently speaking with Father Landfawn, one of the the landed priest of the bishopric of Elrin.
Oh yes, the cider guy.
Along with two of the royal priests who there seems to be some kind of it appears the royal priests are up to their normal antics.
What are these? Are these the royal priests?
You see that
Oh
over here?
no, we don't see those
You not
guys.
see the priests?
I
Yeah.
see a priest.
Really? Oh,
Not
so
a druid
Oh,
if I've
now
ever
he
seen one.
vanished.
I just
Let's
see
go ahead.
Father Lanhorn and
Oh, go ahead
Mother
and add them for you.
The priests, they are transient.
Heresy. Purge them.
Priests. The priests only exist when they want to exist. It's
They're like
Murder.
wizards.
Oh
They've
god, that is
appeared.
creepy. Face it like that.
The teleport in like Star Trek.
your appearance is definitely no.
So is there like some tension here? Like what's happening? What has happened? Can I get like a gauge on the environment here, like a sense
Mm.
motive perception
You
perhaps?
can make a secret perception to try and get a hunt.
Yeah, what's going on? Or what has just happened?
My perception is terrible. I'm curious. Right, it's not terrible. It's great.
You take a quick glance over, though Vickers is the only one able to kind of piece together much. You notice these particular two royal priests behind the father seem to bear the variation on the religious symbol, specifically for the Inquisition.
Oh,
Okay.
Ah,
Are
we're
those-
friends of the Inquisition.
As
friends.
it appears, as far as you can tell, it appears the woman they're speaking to appears to be part of the Duke's entourage.
Oh.
Okay. I will message that to Ceres. Because obviously it takes time. So
Yeah, yeah.
first, Ceres gets the first. Hey, they're they're inquisitorially questioning. Perhaps you can help there.
I do want to help, but I also want to make Amanas's grand entrance.
It's
Yeah,
true.
we need
I
to do
mean,
that first.
We need to do the grand entrance. We'll circle back. Put a pin in her.
Grab a few snacks, something from the punch bowl, and then we'll circle back.
Yep. Yeah.
The
Very
door up ahead actually also should be open because that leads into a dining room.
good.
alright.
Oh, we can see
Oh.
Eve there. Interesting.
I heard to the right.
Yes,
Yes.
that direction. Ceres will give Cena
Just
like a.
those doors would also be open right now.
He'll give Cena like a nod of acknowledgement.
She's in conversation right now, but she does nod and make a slight hand motion as you pass, acknowledging you.
Just a friendly. I see you.
I see Isaac is currently holding back.
Yeah, he wants to like blend a bit into the background and or greenery here and just observe. Really.
Oh Lord, the night scared me.
The night scared.
What's
Oh
that?
my goodness!
I'm actually going to like stay roughly here so I get a sight of everything. So see what's going on.
I mean, they need the musical and company.
Hang on. Let's swap sides, Amanas. You can appear past
Alright.
me.
I am waiting for Senna to perhaps finish her conversation. I do wish to speak to her. So I'm looking out for that at least while this is going on.
Is there a crier? There's no crier here. Or anything.
I
I'll
mean,
be ready once the streaming starts, but I'll be at the entrance.
As you enter in, there is like a servant near the door. The servant's not all depicted right
Okay.
now, who looks like they would act as crier, though it does look like you can take over for them if you would prefer to do it yourself.
Yeah, that
no, we'll
servant
do
needs to
that.
be quiet.
Yeah, Ceres will take over here.
Yeah.
So she will, with musical accompaniment.
Avanas has the faint like silvery aura halo around his head glowing, as we enter.
Oh, okay, so you've
Oh
got all
God,
that going right now.
Jonas.
Are you okay? Oh no!
Wow.
That's Decim.
Oh no.
That's Decim Caladan, my spy master from Game of Thrones.
Let's hope he doesn't bring you look any paintings in the
Oh no! Don't
basement.
look at the paintings.
Oh
whatever
my
you do.
God.
I can see nothing. I just hear you screaming.
Oh,
Now,
Decim.
I mean, it's funny you say that, by the way, because you do notice behind Lord Van Horn at the bottom there is a large like rectangular thing covered in a white sheet.
Don't look at the painting.
You'll get sanity damage if you look at those paintings. His wife hid them in the basement because they were so hideous.
But it looks like it's something getting given as a gift to Lord Van Horn, vaguely painting shaped.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, he'll appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, Decim, what the fuck?
Oh.
It's the young Duke.
Oh my goodness. The
Yes,
fear.
you should trust me, young sire. Yeah.
Anyway, Ceres will stride in.
Yes.
And before she does anything, we'll make an impression. Because I can.
How do you make an impression before you do anything?
Just
I mean,
by
she's a
my
very
pure
She's very
brilliance.
tall elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Okay.
was it like 7 feet?
She's
something?
almost 7 feet in heels, and she is in heels, yeah. So
Yeah, like that is an entrance.
it is an entrance, and she's in like the cutting edge fashion sort of gown as well. So it's not.
I very much, you know those hair commercials with where it's like all big flowing hair and everything. I also imagine that's part of this.
It's
thing.
like that,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't need anything. I can just do it, And also it's to a group of up to 50 people.
This is one of the few occasions where that sort of level of numbers actually might be important.
Yeah. So first the make impression. And then Ceres will begin her long list saying His Royal Highness King Amenas, the Phoenix King, High Protector of the Ashen Ascendancy, King in the North, King of Sorkai, High Lord Chancellor of the First State, Protector of the Faiths, Sentinel of the Old Faiths, Witch Breaker, Purger of the Undead, Storm Terror, the Glorious Cavalier, Grand Master of the Phoenix Guard, Betrayed of the Radiant Throne, the Feaster of Crows, Avenger of the Dead, Liberator of Freyfrost, Great Unifier of the North, Breaker of Walls, Destroyer of the Black Fire, Slayer of the False Inquisition, Inheritor of the Black Lord, and the True Dawn Crown.
There is +2 from me because of 8.
There is definitely a moment where the musician's already in here. You hear them slightly go off note, and like everyone's attention kind of gets turned with like a raised eyebrow as they hear the True Dawn Crown. As even from outside, that's all being announced. There is a moment when like the conversation outside even briefly pauses as the Inquisitors look over at that.
Oh, come at me, bitch.
What, including the Slayer of the False Inquisition?
Attention is drawn. That's
good. Diplomacy, I guess?
Yes, please.
And a +2 from the aid.
Yep.
Is this considered part of making an impression for Amenas, or is it just a diplomacy roll in general?
This will be making an impression on his behalf, yes.
Okay, because then I can use my familiar's ambassadorness. Is aid
Familiar.
circumstance? Is aid a circumstance bonus?
Aid is
I believe it is circumstance.
Makes sense if it is.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah, circumstance bonus.
It is a circumstance bonus. Okay, so my familiar actually is better for me than
Okay,
Amenas'
you
help.
use the familiar.
Apparently.
Amenas, shut up. Let my Tresem talk.
Yeah. I'm only an expert at diplomacy, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Ceres is the true master here.
Yeah.
Okay. For Amenas. 42.
Pretty good. Behold!
You have made an impression. The music quickly restarts again. It does appear that everyone kind of definitely took notice of Amenas, and you don't think anyone here doesn't know who he is.
Most excellent. At that, it is time to mingle.
Who's the lady in the south that's just walked in? She wasn't there a minute ago.
Appears to be a courtier behind Lord Van Horn.
Half elf, eh?
Half-blood.
There's also an elf in the corner with some kind of librarian. Like, the bards are elves, half-elves? And also, Decim is talking to, like, Wish.com Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bargain bin Tom Hiddleston. Walmart Tom Hiddleston.
Poor guy.
I realize all the names were hidden, so I'll reveal. Many of them just have descriptors.
Pompous Lord. That is a great descriptor.
Yeah, he is pompous.
He is very pompous. Alright, yeah, I guess Mingle is the name of the game here.
Tired noble, yeah, that's a good description for Decim. That is what he was. He was a tired noble.
He's tired of everything.
Any shady advisor in the crowd?
Trying to
It doesn't
keep
appear.
this goddamn house together between all of this fucking madness going on. All right.
Alright, we've made our grand entrance mingle. I don't know. Everyone's paired off at the moment, so maybe Lord Van Horn company.
If you want to pay your respects before the host of the party, you can do such.
Respect. He's the one that should respect me. Graced with my presence.
7.5 foot presence.
6'9" is what I think I figured
Yeah.
it out as in heels, roughly.
Yeah. Get a little bit more in the heels there, and
You know, I could, go pretty much 7. I reckon I could.
yeah,
Could
get
manage.
another inch on those heels. Just heels.
Oh, court mage, huh? Interesting.
You're basically like Bayonetta. Like that's your body type. Right?
Pretty much. You may have a brief moment to interact with people. Speak if you wish to interact with anyone before this gets underway fully.
I didn't want to talk to Senna if she's not too busy.
I mean, you can join her current conversation. She's.
Sure.
You want to step over?
Can sidle in.
Oh, Mr. Mercy, it's so good to see you.
Yes, likewise.
Let me introduce you. This is Sven. He's a writer.
A pleasure. He'll like stick out his hand.
He gives you a handshake. He kind of looks you up and down a little bit.
He's trying to appraise me.
Somewhat. An unusual greying man with a horn has walked up to him.
Oh. Give him a slight smile back. And say, what manner of writing, may I ask?
Largely fiction, but occasionally history and current events.
Ah. I don't suppose Senna here has told you of the exploits this morning. Perhaps that is certainly current events.
I was getting an eyewitness account. I thought it would make a good publication.
Indeed. I also wish to thank you, Senna, for your swift action and also your lending of your scroll to me. I do wish to pay that back. And you.
I see that you will. But
Very.
now is not the time for discussing debt.
No, of course not. But if you need another eyewitness account, I shall be listening, if you wish to ask. But I believe the most perceptive of us here would be Senna. She was there the most of the time.
Senna snaps her fingers a few times as you're talking, as one of the servants comes over and she picks a glass off their platter and gives it to you.
I'll take a look at it. What is it?
You're not entirely sure. Maybe whiskey?
He gives it a measured look, and then he will nod at Senna and take a drink.
Goes down very smoothly. It's actually really nice.
Ah, now I want some whiskey.
Come. Now is the time to enjoy ourselves. We've got an all expense paid party. We might as well enjoy it.
Of course.
Sven does, however, as you're sharing drinks with you as well. Will ask for what you saw this morning.
I mean, I'll tell him. I guess he knows up to the point of when I took the scroll and disappeared.
He vaguely knows. He vaguely knows. Yes, he knows you took the scroll and disappeared. He knows a dragon then circled around the noble district.
I will give a truncated version of the events, leaving out the fact that we both almost died. You know, but otherwise truthful. Perhaps not the manner of poison used. You know, we don't want to be too obvious
You
here.
won't give away top secrets.
No, but yes, there was an assailant involved, and we had an encounter, perhaps.
Sven will certainly take notes on the matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Ceres is going up by herself towards speak with the Lord.
Yeah.
She will like accompany in the background, but not take any word. Just cautious bows and so on.
Scions of the far north. Your exploits are well known. Please, I hope you all enjoy the party here. It's after the events this morning, I'm sure you could all do with a rest. Lord
Viserys,
Van Horn says, and now, says very much to you, but also making his voice clearly heard offwards as well.
Viserys has Vietnam-like flashbacks. Holding Vickers in her arms, dying. And then she will smile and say, likewise loud for others to hear. I say, yes, it is a shame that the culprit has eluded us for a short while. Already we hunt them down like the dog they are, and are sure that the master that pulls the leash will be found swiftly after.
As I would surely hope. But now is our time to focus on other matters. This is a rare opportunity to have so many of us together, and not under the auspices of some grand event in the capital, but under our own auspices, to discuss and to build bonds that we really should have in noble community. Don't you agree? Bond among peers. There's a slight sickening to his words that even he doesn't fully believe what he's saying, but
Ceres.
almost just playing the part of being regional.
Yes, indeed. Ceres will smile and say, indeed, among peers, though it is a shame that our Lord Amenas could not be amongst his own peerage in the Duke's presence. Where is the young Duke?
Oh, that is not a matter to concern yourself with. The young Duke does make his apology, but, well, it is already quite late. A growing young man like himself does need his rest.
Curious, Lord Van Horn, that this party was of the Duke's creation, for him to not schedule it for a time that is not time for rest would be more fortuitous. That he may grace us with his presence and sharp wit that I've heard of.
Kind of eyes you as you say that to a degree.
Or perhaps his advisories were short.
We have unexpectedly things have been unexpectedly busier than we'd originally planned. It was only time we could truly arrange to get all the necessary preparations together.
There's nods. I see. It is a shame. Perhaps we can arrange a time for his lordship to meet the king in the... Would it not
Yes,
be good
perhaps we-
for the young duke to learn of his... of the family in which he serves in first hand?
It would perhaps be a good experience for him at a future point. Please, enjoy yourselves. If there's anything you need, my court are here, are here on the Duke's behalf to help. Please do feel free to explore the ground floor here, within reason. While we haven't managed to clear out the old music room or such, there on the far side of the dining hall from here, you will find a rather impressive collection of artistic objects and ceremonial ones we've brought for showing.
Ceres
There's
will
a small lounge if you would like something more private, down near the entrance.
Ceres will smile at Lord Van Horn. Her like not exactly genuine smile, and say, I shall
Polite,
a very polite, yeah.
noble smile.
I shall endeavour to investigate thoroughly, my. It is a shame. You were better suited as the royal attaché, if I recall.
A different time, I'm afraid, though. Fond ones.
And most curious as to how you appeared as Reed. But farewell, Lord, and she will just turn around, not giving him the moment.
It definitely looked like the comment, though, of mentioning his past as that looked like it drove a dagger in slightly.
Good.
Question, did a minute pass?
A minute has passed.
Our side on the one horn during the conversation.
Okay. You stare at him, unblinking.
And the lady waiting again behind Ceres, just staring. His handsomeness, I will say.
Let's see, you learn about his current attitude towards you, apparent emotional state, and general health assessment. I see. His attitude towards Ciel appears to be unfriendly. Your current apparent emotional state is probably best described as exhausted and mildly frustrated. General health assessment actually reveals a slight ailment to him. Though it's faint, it looks like he's just recently recovered from some kind of toxin.
Would I know the toxin? With like a medical knowledge?
You can try. As you focus really, really hard. It looks like he perhaps had imbibed some kind of drug of some kind, but that's not what you're sensing. What it looks like is perhaps it was laced in something. Like someone had attempted to poison him, but it didn't work. Or at least, they didn't kill him.
Okay.
You also identify that he is definitely being deceptive in general. Very few things you think he said so far have been the truth. He's putting on a show and an act, not necessarily being honest here. Is there anything Isaac would like to do in this kind of prelim?
Isaac would like to do two things if he has the time to. He would sort of like to figure out whether the guards are worried about anything particular, whether they are glancing at particular guests, or like constantly looking towards the entrance, get the general state of their awareness basically, or their alert.
Okay.
Which seems perception, I guess.
Yeah, perception for vibe check.
Vibe check, I like that. Let's check the vibe. I do not know what the vibe is, but
The
hopefully I
normal
rolled well.
the normal guards look pretty relaxed at the moment. They don't look too concerned. It looks like they're just kind of doing their duty to keep people out of places where guests aren't supposed to be. Like, not going upstairs because that's supposed to be private residence, that sort of thing. Though, as you kind of wander around a little bit, it does look like some of the Rahal actual knights look a bit more on edge. Perhaps from this morning's activity, so they don't look like they're singling anyone out in particular. It looks like they're just still a bit paranoid from the assassination attempt on the mayor, on the chancellor this morning.
Okay.
Which, fair. Not everyday magical assassins and dragons show up.
That's true.
Very fair.
Dragon being you, but they don't know that. They'd probably be looking at you more if they knew you were the dragon.
They haven't asked.
No, none of the bodyguards have asked.
Are you a
It's gonna
dragon?
be like, hey, yo, the dragon. Me. Only. Okay. And then the second thing Isaac would like to do is snoop around, really. Most likely first, like, trying to test the limits, see where the guards get upset. And be like, oh, I didn't mean to, clearly.
I will drag Isaac around as a, camera to show the areas which the guards don't seem to mind you going.
Okay.
You can head down through this little lounge down here. There isn't anyone down here, but there's like a little lounge area if you want somewhere a bit quiet. There is a trophy room up here. The guards don't seem to mind. It appears beyond these guards here leads to staff areas like the kitchen, where guests are not allowed. There is obviously the dining hall here. It appears the Rahal bodyguards really don't want you going past the double doors at the end, though. Technically, they don't stop you going down here to the little tree. And you can also come down here where there appears to be a small office marked as steward. And obviously, you have the board itself. This appears to be the limits of how far guests are allowed to explore.
Okay. Perhaps once the event progresses, we'll see. We'll snoop around some more. But for now, Isaac is content just sort of wandering.
And obviously, yeah, none of them are letting you go upstairs.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Anything from Aminus, or shall we proceed into to the event as a more thing?
No, we can proceed.
Okay. There's a lot going on here. Put us into initiative just for tracking how much time's passed. Though, unlike with the previous social events, I will not put everyone into initiative, only the PCs. I'll just put more of a generic, I'll put the Lord Van on here, but just more to track everyone else's activities. Actually, I can make that something is happening instead. Feels better. Everyone enjoys that something is happening.
The dubious something.
Yeah. You can roll yourselves onto initiative, though obviously you can always reshuffle because you're all going yourselves. I'll just add you guys on. Aminus and Ceres. It appears Aminus is the most active currently. Well, Aminus.
Yes.
You do not know exactly how long this event will last for, but it does appear this will be a. There's a lot of people here currently.
Yes.
Who would you like to interact with, or where would you like to go and discover information, set things up, influence, start a fight?
Yes, well. Let's see here. Who are the named characters in this scenario? Oops.
Obviously, some names may be hidden currently. So,
I see. Van Horn, young lady. I mean, would be nice to talk.
in the other rooms had the Oathkeeper and Count Ike as well.
Yeah. Remind me again the status of the Viscount over here.
The Viscount Basque, vassal under the young Duke Finian.
Mm-hmm.
Famously loyal when having family members in the royal court. Has so far been sabotaging various efforts of your group, and has generally been opposed to the deals that the Duchess is trying to form. Of which you have not yet seen the Duchess in the party.
Right.
You will imagine you will see her at some point.
All right. He is a thorn in our side.
Other than that, you know he's perhaps more bark than he is bite, but
Yeah.
and has been using magic to keep his own people compliant.
Well, I suppose that keeping him busy is not the worst idea. Because he is a bit of a coward and he's making trouble for us. So Aminus will move over to engage.
He is currently speaking with this rather young-looking woman. She appears quite young, of age, but probably not even of her 20th year yet. She's glistening in like gold and jewels and this like really fine dress.
Yeah.
Very much the garb, perhaps, of a young noble woman, perhaps looking for a betrothed.
Okay.
A chat is currently happening as you simply just walk up. See, it's quiet and down and looks. Oh. Lord Zeal.
Viscount Merithia. I don't believe we have had the opportunity to speak.
I don't believe we have. We've both been terribly busy, it seems.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But what luck then that I spotted you from across the room. I was afraid you might have missed me, given my subtle entrance. He smiles.
Oh, I did not miss your entrance, my lord. My apologies if it looked like such.
Oh, charming, charming. Now, please, Viscount, regale me of some of your intentions of being here. As he will try to basically, he'll try to suss out the Viscount's motive, learn a little bit about him, and engage him basically stopping him from sabotaging other
Primary
shit
thing here is
around.
interrupting him then.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. This sounds like you're diplomatizing currently.
Yeah, I'll diplomatize.
Let's give a diplomacy to interrupt.
I say. 28.
You managed to interject yourself in we must occupy the Viscount for the time being. It doesn't look like he'll be able to do much this turn.
Okay.
As he oh, well. You know how it is. My lord is here, and I'm here to support him and give advice onto him and his court's actions as we proceed.
Interesting. And what, pray tell, will be your advice to the young lord?
Caution, you understand. We're in troubled times, and acting rashly and throwing oneself in with, well, if I'm to be honest, the Duchess of Silver has never shown herself to be much for the conduct of the Empire. Her disgrace even at the royal balls has been shown.
Oh, the Duchess is a bit of a maverick, certainly.
A bad influence to have on our young lord. Much safer to stick where it's known and safe.
Ominous frowns. Oh, well. But sticking too close where it is known and safe will lead to stagnation. Surely, understand? One must be brave and forge new paths if one is to reach greatness. Greatness does not come from doing just the same things over and over again.
You interrupt him for now. Miss Vampire.
I'm just gonna go talk with Eve. Sure, yeah. I'm just gonna go do that.
I dragged you up to the dining hall where she's currently just looking at one of the windows.
I guess, I don't know what to do, but really, I guess I would say, do you want a private show in the, the art house or whatever it's called?
Oh, private show. Oh.
I'm gonna really make an impression on Eve, really. I'm gonna go with the performance.
You may not touch the girls. They may touch you, but you cannot touch them, all right?
You know, there are actually quite a few of the servants here are rather cute. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you want to bring cute servants with you, you can. I mean, I don't mind.
It's good to see you, Hisiel.
It is very good to see you, Eve.
May attempt to influence her.
Yeah, mainly it's performance.
I'll allow a performance. You spend some time with her to persuade her further. Perhaps the you two will wander down to during this time. No one else is using it.
Yeah.
Ashway even invited a couple of the servants and some drinks and give you some time. That is a critical success.
+2 influence?
Yep. Which I've added. Miss Talaniel?
Ceres is going to insert herself here. As these two seem
Head
to
over,
be...
and You head over and see a rather bookish-looking woman, covered in strange symbols, standing. Well, she's not particularly tall. She's especially not compared to you. Currently chatting though with a rather unusual blood elf woman. A very rare sight given these current days.
Blood elf.
Mm-hmm.
Kill.
No.
Smite.
No.
Charles, I'm going to increase her token size because she's quite tall herself.
Token size increase. Wow. Womp.
I did. I did a chart.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Look at our Discord.
Yikes.
I didn't even
You know that
intend
Resident
for-
Evil game?
Yes, yes, Lady Dimitrescu.
That's the vibe I'm
Oh my
getting.
god, no.
yeah, yeah, it's the vibe, certainly.
I hate that I immediately knew what you meant, DDS.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
pretty freaking funny.
Heels really do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. But yeah, Ceres will. These are her kind of people: an elf and a mage. That's about right. So Ceres is much better at inserting herself into conversation than I am.
As you try to insert yourself in. Is there a particular angle you're going for, or are you just going to try and just like small talk your way in?
I think she'll probably try and listen to their conversation for like a few ticks before like slotting in. Otherwise small talk. I think. Try and figure out who these ladies are.
They seem to be chatting fairly familiarly. It's clear they do know each other, perhaps outside of this, in some regards. They seem to be discussing Sunhaven,
Okay.
which do you believe is the name of one of the Blood Elf cities?
Yes, I vaguely remember.
The topic very much seems to be on the current state of the war or the stalemate they're in.
Ceres has strong opinions. Do they seem to be particularly for or against? You know, she might be a blood elf, doesn't mean that she's not a Radiant Empire blood elf.
An incredibly rare thing.
An incredibly rare thing, yeah, but you know.
The general tone seems to be against, from what you can tell. The magely woman seemingly thinking this is a waste of resources. And obviously the Blood Elf being rather defensive in her homeland being torched.
Yeah, I think Ceres would probably make some remark in like Elven that it's akin to genocide. And that, you know, Ceres has quite strong feelings upon the point.
She kind of looks to you. Emerald eyes of the jungle kind of staring at you. She smiles a little bit though as she one sees your stature but also sees her kin. We're both far from home.
Yeah. Ceres will nod and say in different directions, unfortunately.
Very much. But you're right. It's as much genocide to us as, well, in many regards, physically and knowledge-wise as well. It'd be akin to the Snow Elves' great libraries being torched.
Ceres nods. I have heard of the atrocities that have occurred, and if I were in a grander position, things would be different.
I'm glad you understand, though that's not a surprise. Sadly, getting it through to these... She uses a word which seems to confuses the mage woman. She doesn't seem to recognize the translation. You do, and it's basically equivalent of calling the humans in the room a hellish ape.
Ceres.
It's like a very derogatory way of referring to the humans around.
Yeah, Ceres will agree and say, essentially, for such a short-lived race, they require so much time to teach.
But is it even possible, given the generations, each that rise up continuously, each coming back to war with us?
Ceres will shrug. They, there are some capable of learning. I have managed to surround myself with some, though my king can be rather stubborn at times. He is one to actually learn.
Then you found one of the lucky few.
Indeed, it is rare, and I still find myself astonished that he knows the concept given his heritage.
I've been threatened with decapitation 4 times this week.
Ceres smiles and says continues in Elvish, heavens forbid they find out I'm not sanctioned.
You know, part of their own mages aren't sanctioned.
Ceres nods with like a smile and says, I'm pretty sure I helped train a few.
I certainly know I have.
And you're doing what here exactly? I'm surprised to see not only one of our kind, but one of specifically your blood.
It's true. The lifeblood is not found much in these parts anymore. Actually, very few of us managed to cross into the north. I am here at a favor. The sun. Teaching a little bit of my own craft. She gives a slight smirk for a moment. Forgets it to say with my people's genocide, but self-survival may be all we have left.
Ceres will nod and say, one of the few that have travelled north, the boy, found his way into our protection, far in the north.
She pauses for a moment. There's a slight moment where you see a flash from her eyes, as you can see her, you can see a faint bit of ancestral magic running deep in her.
Mm-hmm.
The witch child's brother, I see. I assume that's who you found.
She nods. Does the boy wish to complete the rites? We, in good conscience, could not let him try the journey after the war truly began. Well, I call it a war.
We thank you for keeping him safe. We had no idea if his pilgrimage had led to his untimely demise. We assumed so.
He is safe. Well kept for. Well looked after.
Where is he now?
Our capital, Dorkai.
The Ice Elves still hold it.
No. They lost it long, long ago. We
A shame. The
reclaimed
city was once beautiful.
it. It is again. You should come and visit.
I might. If nothing else, a gate of thorns to bring the child back.
He nods. There is some knowledge retained from the witch.
It is our people. As long as our blood flows, our knowledge is retained.
It is said knowledge that I prefer to keep. Above all else, knowledge is everything.
That will end your turn for now, but you have learned some interesting information.
Hmm.
But you do learn also the names the two people you're speaking to.
Hmm.
A Jean Leia and their blood elf Arya. Maybe I'll be able to learn more as time goes.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac.
Yes. Isaac, with all the skills necessary
I
to
mean,
succeed.
worst case, you have druidic stuff. Maybe you'll find a use.
That's true. Fireball. No, he would like to eavesdrop on the two gentlemen near the fireplace here. I'm sure the disgruntled noble has a lot to say about this and that.
As does the pompous one, like hearing his own voice.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't mind being heard by more people.
Which can we appreciate can we also appreciate the pompous ones like that look?
It's very pompous.
Mm. You can certainly eavesdrop on them. You trying to make yourself just kind of blend in with the general crowd of people moving.
Yeah, like make it seem like he's, I don't know, probably like leaning against the wall, like near the entrance here, as if he was undecided what to do.
The cool guy leaning in the door frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure thing. I'm gonna say the more important thing here is them not getting too suspicious of someone just eavesdropping.
That makes sense.
Have a stealth check in the doorway.
Let's go for some door stealth.
The two of them continue chatting. They don't seem to immediately notice that anyone's eavesdropping on them. The arguments back and forth rather loud as well, which makes it a bit easier for you as well. I've come all of this way to try and petition for us to get better access to the Ares port. And look at this. The young ward is nowhere to be seen, and his regent isn't interested in negotiations. What's the whole point of coming here? You really expect them to discuss things at a party like this? It's a sham, a show. They're just here to make themselves have a good name. They understand the power of that, you know. Some of us do need to be impressed and wined and dined, you know. We have standards. Class. Oh, don't give me that crap. He doesn't want to be here. Lancaster.
Okay.
It appears they are equally disgruntled with the Regent Van Horn's running of this current endeavor. Is there anything in particular you would like to see if you can learn as you eavesdrop on them?
Their names would be good.
Yes, that sounds like that's certainly something you can find out.
Why, yes, I agree with you, Sir So and so, of how